Alright, what's going on, guys? Trevor back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be talking about Game of Thrones. Now that we've seen the end of Season 2, I'm going to be doing a comparison between Season 2 and Season 1, which I like better, which I prefer, and then, of course, hearing from you guys and which season you preferred. So, yeah, Season 2 just ended. Of course, both seasons were amazing. Can't wait to see the third season. It's going to be awesome. I think in terms of this season, Season 2, most people's favorite episode would probably be Blackwater. I think that's probably, for men at least, guys who dig action, that's probably the best episode in all of Game of Thrones, in my opinion. Yeah, I think I'd have to say that. It's probably the best. In Season 1, though, a really, really exciting episode was the episode The Pointy End, which is right before... spoilers, big time spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen the full first season. Right before Ned gets it. Yeah, so that would probably be the most exciting episode, you know, when they're going back and forth in the throne room, and then, you know, he ends up actually losing. I think that was just like so exciting because, you know, all this stuff's going down and there's sort of all this treason and, you know, backstabbing and what's he going to do, and, you know, and you got Jaime Lannister in there who, you know, just previous a couple episodes had stabbed him through the leg, or one of his men did, and just everything that happens in those few episodes in the first season was so exciting. But yeah, if I had to pick one episode as my favorite, it would have to be Blackwater from Season 2, which is episode 9, last week's episode. Yeah, that's for sure. The rest of Season 2, though, let's just talk generally about what happens. So, again, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen Season 2. I assume for this video you've seen all of Season 1 and Season 2, because I'm going to be discussing specifics. So, generally in Season 2, what do we see happen? We mainly see Stannis come into the picture. Robb Stark wage war against the Lannisters. The Greyjoys, you know, get back into the fight again and sort of backdoor the Starks and the North. Let's see. Jon Snow, of course, getting captured, and all the things that have happened with him north of the Wall, which I think is probably more exciting than what we got to see in the first season. Although in the first season, the very first episode, it does open with some White Walkers, which I thought was a pretty cool scene to open with to get our attention. So I don't know. I think that's debatable. In terms of King's Landing, you know, the Battle of Blackwater was super exciting, but I think if I had to choose between, because that one episode's the best, but because of what's happening at King's Landing, I think, you know, the last 3 or 4 episodes of the first season are really exciting to see what happens with Ned, you know, what's happening with, you know, after he's gone, and you know, Sansa still being there, Arya, all of the chaos, you know, everything like that. Just super, super exciting. I really, really like that a lot. So in terms of which seasons I like better, the second season or the first season, I think generally I'm going to have to pick the first season. I think I am. Even though, like I said, Blackwater's the best, the first season I think overall was just more interesting. I didn't feel like there was as many slow parts. Maybe it was because in Season 2 they were saving up a lot of the budget for Blackwater, which, I mean, makes sense because that episode was just bananas. But there was a lot of chances in Season 2 we could have seen a lot more stuff go down. Like, what would have actually changed a lot for me personally would have been, you know, when Robb Stark's men capture Jaime. Why didn't they show us that? You know, when Jaime gets captured, I would have loved to see that. Not just show him in handcuffs or captured up afterwards. You know, actually show him on the battlefield. You know, just fighting against tons of guys, like killing guys left and right, and then eventually, you know, enough guys overwhelm him, or maybe, you know, have Robb step in and you know, have him take him down, or you know, something like that would have been really nice to see. Wouldn't that have been great? Because after what happened last season, if we could have seen like a battle scene where, you know, Jaime's killing off Robb's men, Robb sees him, and Robb and his direwolf take down Jaime or something and then capture him. Or, you know, something like that just would have been really cool to see. So that's definitely, I think, a big-time wasted opportunity in Season 2. And that's not the only time. I mean, there was a lot of fighting throughout Season 2, and many of the episodes that they could have incorporated more action like that, just like that, also with the battle between the Starks and the Lannisters with Robb against Tywin and his men. You know, just incorporate a little bit more of that. I think that the whole thing between Stannis and Renly was decent. I thought that that was interesting. Stannis is probably the best addition in season 2, in my opinion. I really enjoy seeing Stannis and his perspective. Melisandre, very cool there too. Of course, season 1, on the other hand, we had all the battles between the Starks and Lannisters being, eventually the Lannisters winning, and the whole family just being torn apart. And the fact that we follow them, I think it makes it a really exciting end to the season. So yeah, that's my opinion on it. I gotta say that season 1 of Game of Thrones, I think, was better than season 2. Season 2 could have been better, but too many wasted opportunities, I think. For me personally, I know a lot of people are going to say, oh man, well, Game of Thrones is not about action. It's about, an intriguing story and yada yada. Okay, well, if you want to go there, I think the story is still more intriguing in the first season because you have all these different variables and all this different stuff happening at the rat's nest where Ned is thrown into, and all this different stuff happening, and then he gets screwed over, and man, just a great plot, I think, in the first season. So yeah, my favorite's the first. If any of you guys like the second better, please let me know why, and if you agree with me, also feel free to comment about it. Later, guys. Peace.